Greetings, family. My name is SAS, and SAS stands for Sharon Ann Smith. And I'm so delighted that Revolutionary Cam has joined me today, live, on this new moon day, the beginning of autumn, right here in my home. What I'm holding here is a symbol. And some of you may know this symbol or may not, but it's Sankofa. And I'd like to share a little bit with you about my recent travels to Ghana, particularly my last 75 days in Ghana with Africa for the Africans Tours and Investments, which is an annual tour company to Ghana and Africa. But either way, I went back to fetch it. And this Adinkra symbol represents just that, returning back. There's nothing wrong with returning back to fetch or to recover that which is yours. And I love this symbol. I acquired it in Ghana, and we'll talk more about Sankofa because I went back home to Ghana, as I've been going with Africa for the Africans 6 times. It was my 7th trip to Ghana in 10 years. And I have decided that I'm ready to go back home to Ghana as a repatriate to return to my points of origin. And that is some of what I'd like to share with you today. Now, normally I would stay 2 weeks. This time I stayed 2 additional months after my 2 weeks, primarily in the mountain region of Abri. Abri, thanks to Dr. Sharita, is the most beautiful place for me in Ghana, right outside of Accra. But beyond that, I just want you to know that I'm excited and delighted to share a little bit more with you than I probably have before. Sankofa, that spirit is so true to me. It's more than just a symbol, it's a reality. This is another symbol that I acquired in the wood carving village of Abri, right up the street from where I was living and based out of for those 75 days additional. But this symbol is an Adinkra symbol that is normally seen first. We see it as Giyami. I have it here, I have it there. It means God first. It means I fear none except God, that God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. And I really get great strength and endurance and power from this symbol. And my daughter Niaya, she actually has it tattooed on her back right there. I have no twos, not yet. But I wanted to share those symbols with you, because I want to share a few other things with you. And because I'm at home, I want you to be comfortable too. And I haven't always been very comfortable since I got back from this journey, particularly Bomani to Ghana. Even though we go to the important places on our tours, and you can certainly check our tours out on africafortheafricans.org, on all of the YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere, okay? And we'll talk more about that later. But there are some effects of returning home to fetch anything, particularly since our kidnapping and being held captive here in North America and other parts of the world has been very traumatic. And I hold this book because even though I think I'm coping well sometimes with going between America and back home to Ghana for a couple of weeks, this time I really realized, because I stayed much longer in a, as Stephanie reminds us, in a natural environment, long enough to get connected with my family and my reality, and the how not so well I really may not have been coping in America, even though I move with the rest of the folks pretty well. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, when you are in an unnatural environment that you just grew up in, you were born in, and that would be likened to America with those 3 Ks. Now, I haven't always spelled America that way, and I do a lot of spelling as a professional calligrapher, a scribe, a written word minister, if you will. Word is very important to me, but America with the 3 Ks has displayed some things to us that cannot be denied, suppressed, or just act like don't exist anymore, like it's hidden in plain view. In other words, the Klan are out in the street. Some of them say the Klan even in the White House running the country. I'm not saying that necessarily because that's not where my attention is. My attention is on me and my healing and my repatriation at this point, and my choices to, as a Pan-Africanist, to actually connect with the continent in a more contributory way, on a permanent basis, semi-permanent basis, as I come and go there. So in other words, I'm working with it. In Ghana, I was able to be my natural self. As a senior, an elder, I feel, and I still feel so protected and respected and uplifted when I'm in particularly Ghana, but I've traveled other parts of Africa, but I'm really speaking specifically about Ghana because my soul really resonates there. That's why I've been so many times with Bomani Africa for the Africans. So I'm dealing with some things, and Dr. Joy McGree is helping me as I read and recover some of the crimes done against me that I've not recovered from, if you will, but I'm not in denial of, you see. And I'm about assisting myself and others as we heal through some of the effects of slavery. As I said in the beginning, my name is SAS. It stands for Sharon Ann Smith. It's a calligraphy brand that I have had since 6th grade, actually. I have a love for the whole of Africa. I can relate particularly as I read and study and share words of inspiration and power through writing them on parchment scrolls, which I'll share with you in a minute. Well, actually, I'll share it with you now. This is one of my calligraphic pieces. I write these by hand and reproduce and manufacture them. This particular one is laminated, but most importantly, calligraphy is the art of beautiful handwriting. And the Creator gave me this gift. I'm self-taught, and I've been blessed to be doing it for professionally for a long time, full-time since 1980, when I resigned from the telephone company right here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I worked in corporate America for about 8 years with the telephone companies. This is my ministry of the written word. These words are the words of Patrice Lumumba of Angola. I calligraphied these in 2006, this particular one in 2006. As an ancestor, I honor him right now as I speak his words to you. Africa will write its own history, and it will be to the north and to the south of the Sahara, a history of glory and dignity. Ashe. We are writing our own history. It is a history of glory and dignity, and it's been done through individuals, brothers and sisters, pioneers, soldiers, like Bomani, like myself, and like so many others. Why? Because we're committed to the total liberation of African people at home and abroad, the total liberation. Some of the tools of my readings, I just wanted to share a little bit of my library. Why? Because they used to say so much, if you want to keep something from us or hide it from us as a people, put it in a book. Hey, now